This is Yale University, the Fortunoff Video Archive for Holocaust Testimonies, July 10th, 1989. I'm Joanne Rudolph.
Sue Millen.
Oh, and my name is Elizabeth Berry Agri-Deitch, and I'm here today to tell you my painful experience, what I endured with my sister Frida in the concentration camp in Auschwitz, Birkenau, and many other German camps.
Could you tell us where you were born and what the date was?
I was born in Hungary in August 23rd, 1927. And it was a little town. We had a very nice water, they call it Bodrog. And there was the water going into the Tisza in Tokaj, where they're making the good wine. And our town was small, but it was a very famous town because we had a very famous rabbi who was living there. And people used to come over from all over the country to him for advice, and he helped the sick and helped the poor, and he was just marvelous. So when we, on this picture here, what you saw.
Do you want to open it?
Yes. As we're standing here, we were waiting. We were already selected.
Hold it up so that they
We
can
were already selected here. This is my sister. This was my sister-in-law to be. That's me over there. This is my aunt, and that's her aunt. And this became very good friends. This is just the next town from girls. I was in school with her in Sweden afterwards. And we were waiting here for our turn to get into the sauna, because they're going to take everything away from us, and they were going to, let me go to the other page now. And when we went into that big room, they took everything away. And they cut us hair, shaved us, everything. And this is the way.
If you could kind of hold it against your chest in front of you.
Oh. And this is the way we looked. So we were unrecognizable. I just stayed next to her, so we wouldn't lose each other, but we didn't know who we were.
Now, what clothes were you wearing?
Well, here, first they give us a clothes, any kind of clothes. And later on, when we got into the camp, into the hut, we were there, not right away. I don't get tattooed right away. It was about a few days afterwards, but really meant life. When they tattooed this, then we know we were going to stay there, because they were selecting people every single day. They had a quota, how many people they have to kill a day. And if when you were sick, you don't want to say anything because you were afraid that they're going to take you away. So I remember one day, this was in Auschwitz Birkenau, and it wasn't too long after we got there, I got awful sick. I just had such a bad sore throat, and I had temperature. I couldn't walk. So my sister wouldn't leave me stay in the block, so she dragged me to go to work. Anyway, we got our tattoo, then we got this clothes, the gray prison clothes for the woman, plus a number on it. We had no names there, just number. And we were counted every single day 3 times, in the morning, early in the morning, Zelappel. Then during the day, then in the evening, before we went to bed. And our first job was, they called the Brezhinka, you know, when the people were coming in and bringing in clothes, and they left everything behind. With the girls, with these clothes and the white kerchief, we used to march every single day, and we used to pass the crematorium. And we worked there to sort here the clothes, the shoes here, the clothes there. If we find any gold, that was going jewelry separate, the money separate, and you couldn't really take anything because first of all we were afraid, because if they would find anything by you, you know, the only thing if you find any food that you eat right away. That's my cousin, that's my brother. That's my father. He will never be without a hat. He was a very, very religious man.
Do you remember the first time I saw your tattoo?
Yeah, you were trying to wash it off, but it didn't want to come.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley, a third-generation Holocaust survivor. Today, we're gonna meet Grandma Betty, and she's gonna share her story about being a Holocaust survivor. Come on in and help me get ready. Grandma Betty was born and raised in a small town in Hungary. She grew up in a religious family, so she was always very connected to Judaism. When my grandmother arrived to Auschwitz, she was young and fit, so she was sent to work. Unfortunately, her mother and her young cousins were not deemed fit to work, so they were sent off to the gas chambers.
That's my cousin, that's my brother, that's my father. He will never be without a hat. He was a very, very religious man. When we were in the carol car, the train stopped and it was near the crematorium, but we didn't know. And my father wanted to know what's going on. He moved the Venetian blind and looked out what he could see. And it was smoke. It was screaming. So many Jewish people dead. You wouldn't believe it if you wouldn't see it. We came to hell, and the SS man was standing there with a machine gun all around us. And I was hugging my sister, and I told her, let's pray. And then we started to say, Shema Yisrael, help us, help us. God, whom we love so much, couldn't hear us, couldn't hear us.
What did it mean to grow up Jewish?
Davening by heart, I was always doing it, and I was so proud of it to be a Jew.
So when you came to the United States in 1950,
Yes.
did you feel like you were safe to practice Judaism how you did back in Hungary?
Oh yes, oh definitely, definitely. We had kosher home.
And you were free to go to shul,
Oh, yes.
synagogue
Oh, yes.
for Shabbat and the holidays.
Oh, yes, 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 we did that all.
A lot of my generation feels like we're more spiritually connected. We may not be as observant or religious. I sometimes drive my car on Shabbat. And, you know, sometimes there were occasions when I had to work over Shabbos. But I think even though we may not be as observant, it really has a lot to do with spending time with family. And I just remember just the smell of the stuffed chicken and your stuffing and matzo ball soup. And that's something that I want to continue eventually when I have a family, making Shabbat and having special time.
Wonderful, wonderful.